Yo, what's up, y'all? Today, I'll be bringing you guys my Giga Chad Pyromancy build. So when I first made the build, I wanted to go with an all straight caster build, but halfway through the build, I kind of got bored of just nuking everything down with just Pyromancy. So halfway through it, I wanted to do PvP and a lot of PvE involving not only Pyromancies, but including a lot of melee weapons into the build. As you can see from the first two clips, not only am I using a melee weapon, but I'm also using Pyromancy. And I really enjoy the diversity of the build, and I enjoyed this build just so much. I enjoyed building it, I enjoyed getting the clips for this. It was just overall a very, very fun experience. And so with that being said, let's get right into the build. Alright, first things first, let's take a look at the stats. So, as the same with my last build, I am level 150. I just personally like 150. Not only am I in New Game Plus, and not only are the enemies a lot stronger and have a lot more health, I just enjoy being 150 throughout the course of the game. It just seems to be more enjoyable for me. I like to be able to have more points to spin around with. And if you happen to be a little lower level than this, that's also fine, or just do whatever you please, really. But level 150 seems to work fine for me. For Vigor, I have 50, Mind 30, so I can be able to cast pretty much all my spells at least 3 to 4 times. Endurance 22, Strength 50, and you kind of wonder why I have 50 in Strength and only 22 in Endurance. Well, it's not going to be called the Giga Chad Pyromancy build if you can't wield some of like the craziest swords in the game. With Dexterity base 20, Intelligence base 9, and with Faith 60, and Arcane base 8. These stats might look a little different because I am rocking the Radagon Sword Seal. And with the weapon choices I have 2 giant seals, one in my offhand being level 25 and one in my main hand that isn't leveled up. I just have it for the benefits and the bonus of the Fire Giant's flame incantations. For my main weapons I mainly use, I have 3 weapons, well 4 weapons I mainly use technically. I used a Magma Blade, both plus 10. For majority of the things I fight in the game. I really love the moveset of these. I love the way they look. I enjoy the way they feel. And not only that, but the Ash of War is something to fuck with. Now, the Ash of War in this is beautiful. I enjoy it so much. It's a lot of fun. Not only does it hit like a truck, it also has a lot of stagger potential when it comes to PvP. For the secondary weapons, I like to run a Claymore. For the Ash of War on this, you can actually go Red Mains. I think it's called... I forgot the fucking name of it. You go Flame of the Red Mains, or my favorite for PvP and sometimes PvE, Flaming Strike. I enjoy this a lot. When I'm using Flame Strike, I usually catch a lot of people off guard. And not only is my strength at 50 and my faith at 60, the damage hits like a fucking freight train. It's crazy how hard this blade hits. I enjoy this a lot. And through a lot of the PvP clips, you might see me using this and catching a lot of people in the middle of attacks or just on a roll dodge with this ability, and it just hits like a truck. As for another weapon, I enjoyed running the Giant's Red Braid. Also another really good weapon, good to have whenever you're PvPing. PvE wise, it's okay. I mainly use it for the Ash of War. The Ash of War is it's ridiculous. It's kind of crazy how this looks and how it kind of flies around like that. Really cool. Really strong. As for another weapon I like to use, I also like to use the Banished Knight Halberd. Another weapon I like to use mainly for PvP. Catches a lot of people roll dodging. Can catch a lot of roll dodges with this. And not only that, but the length on this is crazy good. So if you paired this up with Flame Strike, it can catch people at a pretty good distance. Really enjoy this for PvP. But for most content and in PvP, I mainly run the Magma Blades or the Claymore. As for the armor, I'm running the Iron Casa, the Caden Armor, the Scaled Gauntlets, and the Scaled Greaves. I just enjoyed the look of this. I really enjoy the look of this. I like the two blades. I like just the way the armor looks in general. I enjoyed this. You can change it up for any armor as long as you can medium roll. As for talismans, like I said, I go with the Radagon Sword Seal. That's why my stats might look a little different. I am rocking the Phlox Canvas Talisman because not only are we using melee weapons, but we are using incantations. Using the Shard of Alexander, this also buffs up all of our Ashes of War, which is kind of simple and understanding, but it not only buffs the Ash of War, it also buffs the lava on the ground. So every tick of the lava that is on the ground is also increased damage, which is fucking insane. Shard of Alexander, like I said, and Godfrey Icon. The flex spot here, to be honest, could be either these two, depending on what you really want to do. You can swap out Godfrey Icon if you wanted to be more of a melee type build for like Rotten Winged, good god, Insignia. You can go Green Turtle Talisman because we do not have a lot of stamina to begin with, so it's also good to have that. You could go Erdtree's Favor. You can also swap out Shard of Alexander for any of the ones I recommended. Those ones, that could also be good, but I kind of keep it like this just because time and time again I like to swap to my pyromancies and cast out a little pyromancy or a little spell every now and then, just to, as a kind of oh shit moment, just to cast around, which is really, really good. So it's really up to you, but these two are flex spots if you so choose to be. As for my Flask of Wondrous Physiques, I am running... As for the Wondrous Physiques mix, I am running the Flame Strata Crack tier and the Cerulean Hidden tier. This will not only increase our flame damage with our blades, but our pyromancies and our Ash of War all at the same time. I enjoyed using the Wondrous Flask Physiques because not only in PvP is it pretty solid, but you're able to cast pretty much a bombardment of fire spells over and over again, charging up, causing just nothing but crazy explosions, insane fire potential. Really, really crazy. Crazy damage potential. It's kind of through the roof. As for our spells, a lot of these I enjoy using for not only PvE but PvP wise as well. Flame Grant Me Strength for that quick kind of buff, just so you can get extra fire damage through your pyromancies. Golden Vow, mainly use it for PvP, but you can also use it for PvE for buffing up, because not only does it give you a buff, but it also increases your strength or your damage overall. Flame of the Fell God. People like to say this is kind of doo-doo, but personally, I enjoy it whenever I'm going straight casting in PvP. With that, I like to cast it out so the enemy keeps his distance from me, so then I can just bombard them with Giant Flame. Really, really good in not only duels, but PvP as well. Flame Fall Upon them. Really hit or miss. I mean, there's another spell you could run. You can use Catch Flame if you're going to be more of a caster type, just so you can catch more roll dodges and just as a melee incentive, because you won't have a melee weapon. You'll be primarily casting most of the time. So I just like Flame Fall Upon them because a lot of the time I catch them in a roll because they don't expect it, because it casts a lot faster than Giant's Flame Take Thee when you don't charge. Burn O Flame. This is nasty in PvE. I cannot express how hard this incantation hits, whether I'm fully buffed up or not buffed up at all. Like, if the enemy is sitting there and he gets hit by 3 or 4 of these flame pillars that are casted around you, it hits like a truck. And it's kind of crazy how hard this hits. And like, from what I've seen, most of my pyromancies I have here don't hit anywhere near as hard as this does. As for the last 2 pyromancies, there are really your choice to go here. If you really wanted to, you can go any of the Frenzy Flame abilities or any of the Lightning abilities. It's really up to you. We have so much faith, you can pretty much use any incantations. I personally run Surge of Flame just because of those. When I'm PvPing, I run into a lot of shield users. So when I run into shield users, I like to use this to kind of keep them at a distance so they don't kind of push me and poke me a lot of the time. Black Flame. This is just, I threw this on there for the fun of it. I personally would put on Bestial Sling just because a lot of the time you might hit somebody in a PvP instance and they are one shot. So I like to throw this out there as kind of a finishing move kind of thing. As for final thoughts on the build, I guess for any weapon, you can pretty much run any weapon you want, because given the strength you have, you can pretty much run any weapon you so choose. Go crazy with it. I personally like these weapons because not only are they solid, really, really solid for me in PvE, but they're amazing in PvP. For most of it, I enjoyed using melee weapons more than the pyromancies, but every now and then, with the clips I'm going to be showing at the end here, I do enjoy running around throwing pyromancies at things every now and then. All right, if you were to fully buff up, starting with Golden Vow, base stats 642, go up to 738. And with that, you go to your Wondrous Physiques. And then you Flame Grant Me Strength. Both these weapons fully buffed up do 954. And that's with each consecutive strike. And that does not count for all of the Ash of War and the talismans you're using on top of that. The amount of damage you can do with this build is astronomical. It's kind of crazy how hard this build hits, and I've one-shot people with not only the weapons, but also with the pyromancies as well. With that is pretty much the build. If you guys have any questions or anything like that, don't be scared to say anything in the comments. Leave a like, leave a comment, and appreciate checking out the build. Peace. Hello. Let us fight. Good fight. Good fight, good fight, good fight. Good fight. Good fight. I caught him with the fireball.
Remember, your light attacks don't work on. That though.
Good fight.
Oh god. That hurt me.
Hello. Hello, hello.
Hey!
Come on, young man Esteban.
Ooh,
Oh, what
he
the
has
fuck?
a health left.
Good fight.
Hey!
The same fucking one boy that. Oh, good fight.
Oh, wasn't.
Hey!
It wasn't. Fuck.